Shout out to G-Man Boxing.
Interesting article here on TalkSport where it's going off an interview that Andy Ruiz gave. And Andy Ruiz, he actually said this on his own YouTube channel. Okay, this is what TalkSport are quoting here. It's very interesting. He's talking about his comeback, his weight gain post AJ, post the rematch. Not just the weight gained, he gained it between the first fight, but post rematch, how much weight he gained, how his comeback is going now, and how much weight he's lost, purportedly anyway. I say purportedly because with Andy Ruiz over the years, he's always, how do I word it in the nicest possible way? He's always been exaggerating how good the weight loss has been. And I can say that because he has done it. You know, we look at the picture with him and Michael Hunter in the build up to the rematch with AJ. We look at the, what was it, a tope or something like that they're called, that they kind of use to keep your stomach in, that he had on before he fought Parker, where he was touching his toes. You know, the pictures in a side angle, stuff like that. You know, he's always tried to, maybe for his own subconscious, has tried to come across that he's lost more weight than he actually has. So in this article here, he's talking about how he's already lost 40 pounds, right? I'm going to quote him here directly. He says, everyone's going to see the difference. Everyone's going to see my hard work. That's what it's all about. I'm ready for my next fight. I'm excited, ready to prove everyone wrong. I must have lost like 40 pounds after my fight against Anthony Joshua, my defeat in Saudi Arabia. I gained to like 310 pounds. So bear in mind, he was in the 280s. I forget the actual weight he was, but he was definitely in the 280s in the rematch. So he gained quite a substantial amount of weight after it. So if he's lost 40 pounds, as he says here, that would mean he's in around the 270 region, which is still way too heavy for Andy Ruiz. I mean, bear in mind, he was in the 260s for the first Anthony Joshua fight, right? And that was coming off the back of a fight only a couple of weeks earlier, where he was even lighter against Dimitrenko. So Ruiz's weight is kind of all over the place, but you got to imagine, I do believe where he says that he did gain a lot of weight. That I do believe. He goes on to say, I was depressed, I was mad at myself because I knew I should have trained. I knew I should have done better in my last fight, but it's never too late. Now is the beginning to see the real and the new Andy Ruiz. I had everything, the belts, but I took that, you know what, for granted. Now it's more motivation. Being here with more champions, people dedicated, I'm excited to be here. In my other fights, I used to weigh 270, 280. I would have to lose 20 pounds just to get in my weight. I would always do it the wrong way, use plastic, try and lose weight and drain myself. I mean, drain himself as a heavyweight. It's just when you hear that, a heavyweight don't need to cut weight. I'm not saying it's a lie, but it's just when you hear a heavyweight say they have to drain themselves just to get into fight weight, it's never a good sign. It's never a good sign. And he goes on to end to say, I'm ready to get my belts back. Not just my belts. I'm coming for Tyson Fury. I need the WBC. Right, so those are the words of Andy Ruiz. Now, Andy Ruiz, look, I'm looking forward to seeing if this is legit. And the reason I've always been sounding so skeptical about it is, as I said at the start of the video, he's done it before where he said things about, this is the new Andy Ruiz, this is it. You've never seen it, right? And the reason why it annoys me is because if you look at Andy Ruiz as a fighter, okay, there's so much good, a bit like Joseph, but there's so much good there. With Joseph Parker, I feel in some ways a lack of confidence at the highest level, but in some ways it's that meanness that he does lack. Maybe Andy Lee can help bring that out. But with Andy Ruiz, there's so much good there that the weight is holding him back, and you just know that a lighter Andy Ruiz, he is a serious threat to these heavyweights. I mean, Andy Ruiz at 260 is still a threat to these heavyweights. Can you imagine him in shape at, say, 240? Because it's not just that Ruiz has fast hands, which he does. It's not just that he has decent punching power, which he does. It's not that he's good on the front foot when he's counter punching, which he is. His feet are slow because he's carrying so much weight. And because he's carrying so much weight, it's harder for him to rotate. Okay? So it's a double-edged sword. And because he's not able to get full rotation, a lot of the shots he throws don't have enough power on them. You see, punching power, a lot of people always say, oh, look, the heavier you are, the more your punching power. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. If you are not able to get full extension into your shots because you're way down or because your body is kind of a bit out of proportion, you're not going to be able to get full extension or full rotation in your shots. You're not going to have as much punching power. So essentially your power could be at the very end of a shot. All right. So when you throw your shot, it could be sudden at the end of a shot. If you're not able to get full rotation, it could only go to there, and you could be getting half the power. Okay. So with Andy Ruiz, lighter, he could maybe rotate his hips and get more power into his shots. Exactly equals more punching power, and as well as that, we've got faster feet. Right. So you imagine an Andy Ruiz with fast hands, fast feet, good chin, decent punching power. Maybe he'll be able to move his head a bit better. That's a problem. So when I get a bit kind of, how do I word it, a bit, kind of ranty, when, I say like, oh, is he losing weight, is he really? I'm saying it because I see a good fighter there, a fighter who can be in very, very interesting fights, a fighter who can give most heavyweights problems, being held back by a lack of discipline. I've never been a professional boxer, I've never been an athlete, but I've never let myself get out of shape, and I see that with a lot of people. I don't know how certain athletes do it. Again, I'm not in their position, so maybe it's unfair for me to say, but I don't know how certain people do, because I always, even during, we're in lockdown here, I run every day just because I need to, and I feel I need to anyway. It's no problem. So I don't know how people, some athletes do it, like Andy Ruiz, where they can just finish one camp, gain all this weight, lose again. It just amazes me. We need to see how he looks against Chris Arreola. All right, I don't have a problem necessarily with Chris Arreola as an opponent personally. Like that, he's been out of the ring for over a year. It's a new trainer, it's a new setup. Arreola's seen better days, definitely, and even in his prime, he was never amazing. I mean, he was America's best heavyweight for a time when they really had, Wilder hadn't. By the time he fought Klitschko, Wilder even turned pro. Well, he would have turned pro, but I don't think there was much talk about him. So there wasn't much going in the US at the time. I think him and Seth Mitchell were maybe the two top contenders, and Seth Mitchell, I mean, come on. They were the two top guys at the time. So that goes to show kind of where Arreola was at in terms of when he was in his peak. Whereas now, he's retired a couple of times, prior to this. So that kind of tells you all about that. I don't mind necessarily this fight. It's just the fact it's on pay-per-view is ridiculous. I think the fight is 49 something in the States, which is, it's cheaper than most pay-per-views over there, it has to be said, but it's still 49 quid, too dear. Pay-per-view for that. Alright, look, whatever. I mean, some people say, yo, G, you don't have to pay for it. I know, yeah, but I've got fans in America, and I have to call BS when I say it, irrespective of where it is geographically in the world. So, that's what I got to say on this Andy Ruiz matter. If he is legit, and look, a part of me does believe him this time, because I'm not in Andy Ruiz's shoes. I don't know what he is thinking or what's going on in his head. But if you are surrounded by Ryan Garcia, Canelo, Oscar Valdez, I'm sure I'm missing a few guys that Eddie Reynoso was training, and a very good trainer in Eddie Reynoso. And I'm interested to see Eddie Reynoso what he does with heavyweights, because this is going to be, I'm intrigued I'm excited for this at the same time to see what Andy Ruiz looks like, because this is a serious threat in the heavyweight division, make no mistake about it. And if what he is saying there is true, and he is in shape, and he is taking these things serious, and he is making an effort to get down and stay in shape, we have a problem in the heavyweight division, Andy Ruiz. Make no mistake about that. So we need to see how he looks against Chris Arreola. It's going to be that's going to be such an intriguing fight. Not from who's going to win. No, we know Andy Ruiz is pretty much, unless something crazy happens, is going to win. But I need to see how he looks, what Eddie Reynoso has changed, if anything, and just his whole demeanour in the fight. It's going to be interesting. So I'll leave you there. Lads and lassies, smash the like button if you haven't already. If you're new, it's your first time, welcome. Glad you're here. Please subscribe. Give your boy a hand, get him to 4K. I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to know in the comment section, are you like me? With Ruiz, it's because there's a good fighter there. And if he's in shape, we're going to see a very good fighter. Are you like me in that ballpark? And because that's why I get animated sometimes when I talk about Andy Ruiz and the weight gain and this and that. It's just like, enough. Come on, we've heard it enough. I want to see Andy Ruiz in shape, because I know there's a good fighter there. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe, of course, as I said already, if you haven't already. Lads and lassies, I'll talk to you. Have a great day. Peace.